So, who is Imaginatik? We provide services and we provide software, like a software platform, for tapping into the collective intelligence and for doing collaborative innovation systems. So, one of the interesting things we've recently been looking at is this a technology problem? Well, it clearly is not a technology problem. It's a people problem, and it's a leadership problem. Business Week is just doing a story on Enterprise 2.0 consulting, and I just gave them a figure where, in my view, this particular problem about tapping into the collective genius of doing collaborative innovation is 30% technology, 30% leadership, and 40% people. And I put, even though leadership doesn't require a lot of work, it is a huge sea change for leaders to begin to understand and appreciate the power of the collective. Just as it's hard for a 45-year-old manager to appreciate that a bunch of 24-year-olds have got some ideas. It's one of those sort of adaptations that managers have to go to understand and listen to people who normally would say, look, after you have another 10 years, speak to me. But so it's understanding that from a leadership perspective, you need to be a lot more open. But that's fundamentally, there's a leadership sea change that is taking place. You then have to have people engaged. Technology is essential, because without technology, you can't put 1,000 people in a room. And you certainly can't repeat it on a daily basis. But really, you do need to have those services to understand people engagement and leadership. Our clients include people like Boeing, they include people like Xerox, they include Allianz, Chum Insurance. One of the things that's very interesting is that our client base is across a very broad spectrum of corporate activities. This isn't just something that banks want to do, this is something that hospitals are doing. I personally believe there is a huge opportunity right now in the hospital space. We've now got 2 hospital systems that are our clients. And as anybody's been treated in a hospital, you really would like to have some improvements, whether it's making it cheaper, better experience, etc., etc. So what's interesting then is that these are pioneers in their respective industries, and they're the ones that are pioneering the use of these collective intelligence and collaborative innovation activities. About our organisation, we are growing, and are hiring as well. So we're about 40 employees split between Boston and Winchester in the United Kingdom. I personally live, my wife's family is in Berlin. I also have a place in London, Boston, and Los Angeles as well. I live in hotels, as in physically. I'm just moving into the Ames Hotel in Boston. I'll have a wardrobe. We're a Technology Pioneer Forum winner. What is this? So, how many of you know about the World Economic Forum? Who would like to go? It is wicked beyond all possible belief. It is Playersville. I mean, it's so cool. And because people are allowed and encouraged to bring their spouses, it's not as testosterone-driven as a lot of other conferences. So it's pretty much as soon as the big CEO wants to say things, his wife's kicking him in the shin. Be nice to him. His kids play soccer. So it's a very interesting environment. In fact, when we are sort of in a world of abundance. We're one of the random companies in the Technology Pioneer Forum. We aren't funded by any of the venture capitalists that support the forum. We weren't written up in Business Week as a great company. One of our clients, Pfizer, found out about the competition for Technology Pioneer over the internet. He submitted over the internet without, and even if Pfizer is a supporter of the forum, they didn't go through their normal channels. So this was really a random submission over the internet. In that particular year, there were 450 submissions, and we won. So we won 35 Technology Pioneer companies because of the pioneering work we've done at applying these collective intelligence and mass innovation systems within corporations. Now, in doing that, this was one of the few times that I really did dance a jig, because this was a hugely meaningful achievement for me personally, for the whole team, for the company. I decided that I couldn't turn up to this conference just being a software company doing collaborative software. So I actually decided to set myself a goal that I actually wanted to change the entire world for better, using the collective brain power of the planet to solve all of the world's problems. I've worked out a method of doing that and techniques of doing that. And one can begin to evidence our commitment to that. We've become a member of the Clinton Global Initiative. How many people know that? Cool stuff. What the World Economic Forum is missing is really action beyond reports. The World Economic Forum now has 21 action groups to write reports on 21 important topics. Nobody's doing anything. The thing that I really like about the Clinton Global Initiative is that you sign up to, I will deliver this, and then next year you have to make a report. pretty obvious, but right now, if you look at just how many things need to be done in the world, there's a tremendous opportunity to really take action. So I think what Clinton did post-presidency has been phenomenal in setting this up. Now we have a $5 million commitment that we'll be announcing shortly about to the world, to the Clinton Global Initiative. And this will be then applying our software and services to help other people achieve their goals. Now this is a very important point. My goal is to be an idiot. Complete idiot. Because if you become an expert and too deep of a topic, you become so ingrained in it, so dogmatic about it, you almost can't escape from there. So my goal is to be an idiot. I'd like to understand what the process is, and I'd like to have the attitude that we'd like to help everybody. But as to what people will do with it, I just want to be able to help. So within the CGI, for example, this might be helping implement Idea Central to collect ideas on improving the state and performance of refugee camps. It could be applying our consulting skills around propagation and spread to help propagate the use of our hardware infrastructure for internet access across Africa. There's ways that we can help. Because I figure that once we do this and we can combine together the intelligence of the planet, we can go and solve some pretty material things. We're also a public company. We are one of the few public companies in the space. That's worth, I do presentations and lectures at business schools on, I think it's from $1 to $20 million, 500 horrible decisions to an IPO. It's a different discussion, but it was a surreal thing. But it's a very important thing for us to be a public company. It makes us a lot of transparency. And it means that for us we have lots of stakeholders, not just employees and customers, but also shareholders.